So I'm starting my day. I just got some crazy news. My mortgage just went from $4,500 to $6,050, and it'll be effective March the 1st. I have never considered a bank, but I got this black hat and this black mask because I mean, at this point, like, what the
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Hold up. Wait a minute. But is this really a surprise? Is this really a surprise that people are now just getting the memo saying,
Orlando, everything was good. Remember when they told us the economy was doing great? We bought these houses. Yes, we did overpay for them. Yes, we did. We overpaid for them. But the numbers were good. We lived in places like Texas, no state tax.
Taxpayers need relief.
And then they told us the property taxes. This is what the property taxes are.
and what did Orlando tell you? Orlando said, listen, that's all great and good, but remember, all of these homes have been appraised at a higher amount. Just wait until it's your turn. Wait until it's your turn when they appraise your house and say it's now worth XYZ. This big dollar amount that you thought you were getting a great deal on, that you paid $50,000 extra on, now you have to pay these property taxes, and they won't be cheap. And you thought you were getting a good deal.
You've been bamboozled.
My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. Also, too, I have a newsletter, and it's completely free. How can you beat free? You cannot. And then on top of that, if you need any type of financing that deals with commercial properties or investment properties, I'm your guy. I've been a lender for almost 20 years. I can assist you with that. Guys, let's jump straight into this. One of the biggest things that I've been hitting on over and over and over with individuals is letting them know that property taxes and insurance is something that's ever changing. Every year you're gonna get reassessed on it. And the way that the numbers have been working for the last couple of years, I have been sounding the alarm. Property taxes, insurance, it's gonna go up, guys. And it's gonna go up high to where you're gonna see big numbers like these individuals are seeing right now. I mean, let's take a look. She said here, $4,500 to $6,050.
Damn.
Now, you have to understand that if you get hit with something like this and a monthly bill, let it be the mortgage or something else, you're gonna take notice. You're gonna go, what? How did this happen? And we all know how it happened. Escrow. You know, the thing that all of these realtors and all of these title companies, they just push you through and they go, yeah, everything will be the same. But what did Orlando say? Orlando said, guys, watch out, because they will tell you that this is what your property tax bill is, but it's gonna go up next year.
Don't fall for this. You think that your bill is this, $4,500, and you sign away and be like, hey, what is everybody talking about? Houses are expensive? Did you see the deal I got? I'm paying $4,500. Everybody else is paying what? 66, 10,000? Not me. I found a great deal.
But they're not telling you everything. But maybe you're thinking to yourself, Orlando, that's all good that you found this lady and she's talking about she made a mistake and maybe it's just her. Maybe. But you guys know me better than that. You know I'm just not going to show you one person. Let's go ahead and take a look at someone else who's in the same predicament.
Has anyone on here ever had almost a 50% increase in their monthly mortgage due to escrow? If so, I want to know if there's anything we can do about it, because it's quite insane. We used to pay about $1,100 every month for our mortgage, and I know that has like escrow, insurance, taxes.
And see, guys, look, this is how common it is. This lady comes on and goes, hey guys, I just want to throw this out there. Is anybody else mortgage going up by 50%? Now remember, remember, 50%. We're not talking about 5%, 3%. She said 50%. Now at the beginning of January, everyone's like, man, why did I buy a house? Man, I regret buying this house. I didn't know that I got to pay $3,000. This is the true cost? I can't pay this. That's what everybody's saying now. Everybody's like, man, I regret this. Why did I make this decision? Why did anyone let me know that insurance and taxes were this crazy? Why didn't anybody let me know that if I get an arm, that the arm was gonna eventually go up? Maybe this will give you some insight. Home buyers in the US cancel contracts at record rate in January. That's because everybody got that notice. What did I say? I don't know, in my video, 10 videos ago, I said, here's January. We know what happens in January. Everybody's gonna get that reassessment, and a lot of people are gonna feel pain. And with that being said, with everything that's happening politically, everything that's happening with the layoffs, everything happening with tariffs and all this other stuff, it's not gonna get any better, guys.
Wait, what?
It's only gonna get worse. And I've been trying to let everyone know, and I get it. I'm just a guy on YouTube. What do I know? What do I know? I get it. But when you look yourself, you have to see the red flags. Remember, these people thought that they were insulated from the economy. They thought to themselves, well, there's no way that I'm gonna get caught up in this. And here we see individuals talking about 50% increase.
Dang.
The lady before is talking about a $1,500 increase. Now you have to remember, again, these are monthly. So with that being said, these are the reasons why individuals say, well,
I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make sure I live and pay this mortgage.
so where are they gonna go to? 25, 30% interest rate credit cards. To keep the same lifestyle, they couldn't afford the $1,500 increase to begin with. Now they're gonna have to go into their savings account. I hope that's not the case. But for most people, they will go into their savings account, and what will they do? Use the credit card as their savings account?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
30% on $1,500 a month you're paying. That you're most likely won't be able to pay off because you never had the money to begin with.
Get some help.
So that means that it's gonna be $1,500 turned to $15,000 and beyond. Then it's gonna be a rolling debt that you pay minimums on your credit cards.
Oh man, no, you don't want to do that.
You see how that could turn into something to where it could put you in bankruptcy? But listen, guys, you guys don't have to take my word for it. Let's go ahead and hear what someone else had to say.
Guys, tell me why my mortgage went from, don't judge me here, $3,200 a month to $5,600 a month. Backstory here is I was looking for a house back in 2022, and I put in offers on multiple homes. So we decided to go, they got declined, and they wanted 50 to 60 grand over asking price for the homes with no contingencies and all that kind of stuff. Long story short, I bought a new home with Ryan Homes. The worst decision I've ever made in my life, I swear to God, and I am paying for it till right now.
Did you hear what he just said? It is one of the worst decisions that he's made. And he's paying for it right now. At least the accountability is there, right? At least the accountability is there. He knows the decision that he made. He knows it was a bad one, and he knows he's gonna pay for it. This is what I'm talking about, guys. When you see numbers like this, $3,200 to $5,600 a month, I already know what this is. I already know what this is. This is a tax and insurance play. It's 100% that. See, this is what I'm talking about. $2,400 extra a month. Can you afford that? Can you afford $2,400 extra a month for, I don't know, a financial mistake that someone could have helped you out with? Someone could have told you, maybe give you more information. But when you have realtors who want to make the money, they know that if they let you know, give you this information of, hey, by the way, your taxes at Escrow is going to change, and it's going to change by a big number, because I don't know if you saw the rest of these other homes, what they're getting taxed for is not what you're getting taxed for. Because if they were to tell you something like that, you may go, I don't know if I want to buy this, which means commission poof. That's the message that is getting over to individuals. Well, we sold you the house. We did all the work for it. Hey, all the other stuff is your responsibility, which, let's not mince words. It is your responsibility. This is the biggest purchase of your life. You should look at everything and read everything before you sign it. You should. But we all know how this works. Everybody just signs a dotted line without even looking. You guys might as well just sign and close your eyes.
Next thing I know, I get the first tax bill on the property with land. On the property with the home build. The taxes were $16,000.
$16,000.
$16,000. So that's not not the half of it. So I then call like, hey, is this right? Is this correct? Like, yeah, that's your correct property taxes. We're not sure why, but Ryan Holmes should did your estimate based off what your taxes could be on the home, because you're the last home built. So there's plenty of comps in the area that they can use as, hey, your taxes could be this. However, they use taxes off the land because it's going to show you a cheaper mortgage. Okay, so
what? Who would ever do that? You're telling me greedy home builders are trying to push around numbers, make it look like the house is cheaper than what it is? What? Man, only if somebody would have showed you guys information. This is the reason why my videos of reading in between the lines, understanding these type of scenarios and what you're going to get yourself into, because let me tell you, this is what I say all the time. These companies aren't loyal. The number one thing you should do first is put you and yourself first. You and your family first. Fact. Why are you worried about making sure that the realtor is fine? Making sure that the home builder is A-okay? Taking their word as bond, as gold, as platinum, whatever you want to say. You 100% have some loyalty instead of verifying what they say, doing your own research, making sure that you are responsible for you and your family, not allowing these home builders and everyone else to determine what you believe and what you think. Again, this is where the economy is going. Everyone is telling you everything's great. Egg price is high. Ragu sauce high. Everything is high. But everybody's telling you everything is good. Let me help you out. Maybe if you just see this one piece of information, other than all the videos and all those stuff, maybe this will help you. If you just go to the news that hit today, showing what the GDP is, the gross domestic product. This is what we determine if we're going into a recession. 2 consecutive quarters, at least. The way that the government was judging it before, it was 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. So all you have to do is see a chart and see if it's negative. 2 months of that, we're in the recession. What did this first month's quarter show? Well, if you just take a look at here, it says the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta showed that we have a negative GDP growth of what? Negative 2.8%. All you got to do is look at the graph. Look at the graph. Green, 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 drop. So let me ask you this. If you think things are expensive now and we have negative GDP growth, and more than likely, next quarter is going to be the same. But when you add in tariffs, when you add in layoffs, when you add in people taking unemployment, when you add in hiring freezes from private sector, government sector, houses, people not buying houses because they're too high, insurance is through the roof, maybe this will be a red flag to show you that things aren't going in the right direction.
I can pack up the house and give it back to you. You can have it. If you own a newly constructed home or you're buying a newly constructed home, stay here. So tell me how I signed a document with all the documents signed, your payment 1907, and you signed 1 million documents. Now a year later, they hit me up in February talking about your payment is $34.50. I bet it ain't. I bet it's not.
I bet it is. Either that or the bank will foreclose on you. I get it. Look, everybody can be tough, but at the very end of the day, these people will foreclose on you fast. Maybe that's not enough, but let's go ahead and drive the point home, because you're starting to understand, starting to see that January just isn't a good time, especially if you overpaid for a home, especially if you bought a home thinking that the cost was going to be this, but the real cost is this. You thought that you were getting a great deal. You were looking around like, I don't know what is everybody talking about? These homes are cheap.
Boy, you crazy.
Insurance? Man, I'm paying $2,000 for insurance. I don't know what you guys talking about. My property tax? I'm in Texas. We ain't got no property tax, and I'm only paying $1,000 a year on it. That's what the tax. I love Texas.
And then you get that bill, $16,000. Proper. I thought they were using the oil money for that.
I didn't know that when I was building a home that I was just gonna have to pay taxes off the land, and then when the home is actually built, then you gotta pay taxes on the actual home and the land, which increased my mortgage by $3,000. I didn't know that. So now my mortgage is increased by $3,000 from what I'm currently paying. You know, and plus you still got all these other expensive and stuff like that.
Gets expensive, huh? And that's not even a half of it, right? That's not even a half of it. It gets worse and worse and worse.
I don't knock buying a home. I think the goal should always still buy a home, but you should be prepared to know what's to come. Like I say, if they would have told me like, hey, your tax is going to be based off of this number instead of this number in a year, no, that wouldn't have changed my decision. I still would have moved forward. But if they would have told me that, I would have been prepared and not, you know, look in the mail and be like...
Like he's saying that regardless, he would have went ahead and moved with the transaction regardless. He would have bought the house no matter if it was up by $3,000, down by $3,000. It doesn't really matter. He was going to buy it because he is a big component of buying a home. But let me just explain this very clearly. Buying a home that you can't afford is not home ownership. Let me say that again. Buying a home that you cannot afford is not home ownership. Huh? I know a lot of you guys aren't going to like hearing that because a lot of you guys believe, well, I mean, it don't matter. I own the home, even if I can't make the monthly payments. Is that really home ownership? Is home ownership every month trying to figure out how you're going to make the mortgage? Every month using credit card debt to pay the mortgage? Every month doing cash advances just so you can make your mortgage? If that's the case, if you could save, if you went up $3,000 on your mortgage and your mortgage was $2,000 before, so now you're paying $5,000. If you can't afford $5,000, but you can afford $2,000 and you can find a nice apartment for $2,000, why wouldn't you do that? I know everybody's like, Orlando, he's a hater. He don't want you to own a home.
What?
That's not the case at all. I'm telling you, you can't afford it. So why buy the home you can't afford? How about you rent because you can afford it? You buy when you can afford. I'm not talking about buy because you got a contract deal for 1 to 2 years, but on that third year, it's going to skyrocket and you don't even know if you're going to be able to pay it. A lot of you guys are buying these homes and getting into these contracts with these home builders as if you were signing a Charter or AT&T cable contract. You know, when you sign that contract and you're like, oh yeah, they're giving me this promotion deal. It's $50 for my internet. And then after a year it expires and now it's $200-300. And they're like, yeah, that's what we normally charge. That's how you guys are buying homes. And then let's throw in the last caveat. The last caveat is this, is in a lot of these situations, I don't believe the individual would have been able to actually get approved for the loan. Because if I would have saw that here's the taxes and $3,000 extra is what you're going to actually pay, can you really afford another $3,000 in monthly? Can you afford that?
Oh, hell no.
And the answer for most people is no, you cannot afford that. And in most cases, you're going to get denied. So unfortunately, some of the banks are being like, yeah, I mean, we nobody buying houses now. We really don't have any business. You know, let's all work together. Realtor, banker, title company, because there's not that much business. No one's buying homes now. This is probably the only deal I'm going to get in this week. So I got to do what I got to do. This is, again, the reason why I say make sure you put yourself first.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Make sure that you don't end up in the situation like these individuals have credit card debt, using to pay a mortgage, paying 30% on the credit card for additional funds that you need to pay your mortgage. It's not living, guys. This is not living. You become a debt slave doing this. And then these same people I will see 3, 4, 5 years from now, and they will say, buying a home is the worst thing that you could ever do. It's because they had a scenario like this. But anyway, guys, listen, I hope you got value out of this content and it gave you some insight on what not to do. And looking at other people's experiences to get further in life. Guys, listen, if you like this type of content, please join our Patreon. I will break down details on videos I normally don't post here. You will get a ton of value there. And as always, you won't get all of your content from this one video. I need you to watch this video right here. Yes, this one right here. It will give you information on the housing market, financial news, and get you into your first rental property. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.